I saw a movie, so you won't have to. And with this movie, I'm not sure I'd go see it in a theater. We're gonna talk about Furiosa. Here we go. So, Furiosa is a movie without Mad Max, which it's a Mad Max saga, but there's no Mad Max. And where he comes into the story, I don't know. What I do know is that there is a lot of extra long things in this film that shouldn't have been there. This film is overly long. It runs over 2 hours unnecessarily. And I felt like every moment of the runtime that they extended, they're going to lose a little bit more of the audience. I did check my watch at 1 hour and 15 minutes in and found that we were probably only about dead center in the movie. Although it did end a little bit quicker than that, it just felt longer. And when a movie feels longer, it's probably not good. Now, look, we didn't really need an origin story for Furiosa, and that's what this movie is giving you. And I'm going to do my best not to do any spoilers, so stick around, because you're going to want to hear some of this. First and foremost, I will say that the young person that played a young Furiosa did a nice job. Not a lot of talking, so not a lot of acting required. Standing there staring and just, trying to look genuinely annoyed, frustrated, frightened, or angry. And you can do those emotions pretty easily when you're not being called upon to speak. You'll also find that during the course of all of the injustice that happens to this particular person, you start to feel less and less about it, which is strange because it's being done to a young person and you are really invested in just how troublesome and problematic that these things are. With all the hardship that's heaped upon one person, you are going to find yourself not caring very much about it. And again, as a young person, maybe you care, but as the character ages and actually becomes, our primary actress, we start to care less and less. That's a problem in any movie because now you just feel hollow about the experiences that the character's having. And some of these are pretty horrific. One of the interesting things is Furiosa picks up a whole lot of skills by just kind of blending in and pretending to be a boy. And that kind of changes the outcome for her character, who otherwise looks like she would have become a baby factory for the warlords of the time. And look, the wasteland is presented in a magnificent way, but at every step it's done over a long period of time, and it's too long. Very similar callbacks to things that happened in Road Warrior and some other things do exist within this film, and there's some lore that people will pay attention to. But at the same time, you are going to feel like you are overly exposed to an environment that really drags things along. Notice that all of the things I'm talking about are about the length and how long this feels. And that's not good because at the same time, there are entire segments of this film that feel hollow, right? The acting is incredible. First of all, Hemsworth is genius. He is one of the better actors of our day, and we don't have many. In fact, I can't argue with anybody's performance in this film. Across the board, it is amazing. But at the beginning of the film, I'm going to tell you to pay attention, because in an environment where you certainly don't have a whole lot available for people to eat and drink and everything else, you don't have a lot of the modern conveniences that we enjoy, at least right now. Who knows in the future? But if this is not that far away from us, I don't seem to think or believe that there will be a bunch of people that are just heavy, overweight, or for lack of a PC way to say it, fat. And you get that right at the beginning of the film. In fact, there are a few times when you are like, this is not the post-apocalyptic world that we would think that we would be having. And while those moments are few and far between, they do exist. All of the characters in here and all the way through all of the different character types, you're going to find touchstones, common ground, things that existed in the franchise previously, just before we ever saw it. And the explanation for the resources that are there is fascinating. You basically have 3 fortresses that kind of make up the last bit of economy that exists in this world. Food, bullets, fuel, water. Those are the things that people are looking for. Those are the things that they have to stock up on. And those are the resources that they kind of build their power around. So it's familiar and it's good, and Miller makes good use of it. But again, this is one of those times when it seems like too much of an auteur involved in this makes it too long. And again, I'm going to say the word hollow. This feels very hollow, which is going to affect my rating, okay? The action's fantastic, the cinematography is brilliant, and aside from, again, stretches where nothing happens and it didn't need to be in the film, I can't make complaints about this like I normally would. I do understand where Anna Taylor-Joy was coming from when she was saying that she really didn't get to talk much, because there's not a lot of dialogue for her character, especially in the beginning, and even in the middle, and even at the end. I think the biggest moments for her in the last few minutes of the film, and I'm going to tell you that last few minutes stretches onward and far too long in a way that I can't even begin to tell you is mind-drubbing. The end of the film just was too much. I don't know how else to describe it. You know what? I'm gonna give up here and just give you the ratings, right? This film is average at best. It's 2.5 to 3 stars at best. This is a 6 film for no other reason than I think the only audience here is maybe teenage boys. Although I don't know for any other reason they would be engaged in this other than the cool motorsports vehicles and the occasional explosion and firearm and things like that. Because there's really nothing else to draw you in. Even the fans of the old films are going to be like, okay, I get it, but come on, this is not what I signed up for. So perhaps the beginning of summer movie maybe hits for a little while with a certain audience, but it's not going to hit big. And there's a reason why they're adjusting the expectations at the box office down. Now, with a 3 or 3 stars and a 1 to 10, it just is. It's right in that middle ground of a 5 to 6. It's right, but outside of the acting, especially Chris Hemsworth. But there's nothing exceptional about it. And for somebody who loves these films, I'm going to tell you, Fury Road and Fury, you're getting farther and farther away from the things that, well, would interest me. And maybe that speaks to you as well. But hey, I want to know what you think. If you go and see this film, please tell me if I'm out of my mind. Please tell me I'm wrong about it being far too long and empty, because I think that's going to be a prevailing opinion. I think you're going to hear that from a lot of reviewers. As much as I was engaged at various points in the film, I just wasn't there the whole time. Let me know if your experience was the same. Oh, and also, quick mention, I am trying to get to 25K, and while it's probably unlikely I'll get there by the end of the month, because that was kind of a goal, I think we could get close, and I can with your help. Now, if you're watching this video and you think you're subscribed, double check, look down. If that button's red and says subscribe, you're no longer subscribed, and that's happening to a lot of viewers right now. So click that button, turn it gray, turn on all of the notifications on the notification bell, and of course leave me a comment. And I'm going to challenge you to give me the last word of the video, okay? Just write it in the comment section, in addition to any of your other comments. And on that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. The password is Naga.
I've seen it all, so you don't have to. Culture Casino's got the movie review. From silver screens to the heart's true view.